All right, well, we've got the bill anyways for it, so. For that, cleaning stuff. So anyways, let's go, the minutes from the previous meeting, I was looking at this, I didn't get that meeting, I was there, but yeah, I guess that was.
You were there for part of it, and I didn't know if I should put in the minutes, you were there for just part of it.
I
or-
was thinking, May is, I didn't make that meeting and I'm reading it and says, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I think I
Yeah,
was
you
there
came
close to
in,
it.
you did, came in a little late, but you were there for the bulk of it.
Yeah, so. You guys get copies of the minutes and the May 15th minutes, any comments on them?
No, I wasn't here, so I read them and,
Okay,
but I wouldn't be able to know what's name.
all right then, I mean, a motion to approve the minutes is written.
Yes, to approve the minutes. From.
May 14th.
May 14th.
All in favor? Oh,
I
is there a
second.
second? Second, all in favor?
I,
Budget, yeah, so, okay. On the, cleaning supplies, we end up getting, water in. It's five kits, which have like a gallon and a half of, so each has 1 gallon and a half of solution. And some other brushes and stuff. It came to like $560, which includes $100 shipping. So the bill was total $560.68. John paid for it and, would need to reimburse him that amount.
no.
So we'll see, maybe that's what they count and say, but, we can say yes. So I need a, motion to, approve the payment of this now, $560.
I move to approve the payment of the amount back.
And the second on
Second.
it, okay, all in favor?
I,
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna pass this around and look at the bills behind it. The sign. And then my name up there.
Are we gonna have like a cleaning party or?
Well, I don't know yet. We'll see when it comes in and, see what we wanna do about it. You know, start with it, how we wanna handle this. I mean, we don't need to have a party, but we could have a day up there. So we could,
We could bring a little Smoky Joe and a little cooler with some water, have some hot dogs.
Smoky Joe.
But you know, the little grills, they're only
Oh.
like that big.
Okay. Found out something.
No.
Okay.
No, that will result in us not getting much cleaned at all
Yeah.
here.
No. Okay, next order of business was, we did get the new state register of historic places, thank you. Right, for this whole place, our 2023 one, they sent bills free every year. So, I'll put it in a notebook there if you guys want to look at pages tonight in Kingston or something. Feel free to do so. Pass that down.
so where are you gonna put that?
It's in our files and cabinet over there in a binder. I wish we had a place to stop and look at what we put that books in up there.
That's actually a really cool building.
Which one's that?
The one that's on the cover.
Oh, yeah, it's like a Frank Little Break looking
Where is that storage?
under the stairs over there.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I said it, I'll show you.
Yeah.
We have
Can you get in if the building is open or do you have to get? a key?
no, you didn't.
Yeah.
They few to the town. Yeah, they're full of stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be, have someplace at the library? An idea? Or, I mean, yeah, I know what you mean, someplace is more visible,
Well,
but,
I mean, like, so you guys could see
Yeah.
what we have for books.
Yeah.
You know, we do have some good books.
so it's not like super public, like.
No, we don't want.
Party.
So we bought these for our, actually, we could buy some more, but if we had something, we just extra money with it.
Okay.
But, didn't think of that. So, yeah, they're in the first, we have a place in the
More
cabinet.
resources for people.
Good fun, you can buy them. Lock it up, a big fun, throw it out, you know. But we do that much. Okay, 49 Old Mill Road, I sent that out later, I meant to send it out earlier in the week. But, this, it's not really, it's not applicable for, purview, really, to look at. You guys, did you have a chance to glance at the plans that I sent out today for you?
Yeah.
Well, I printed it out where it is. They want to put a porch on the back of a house, which is in a development, so. I don't really think it's really, something we're concerned about. Archaeological resources in the backyard,
Oh, I know where this is, yeah.
so, yeah, you can see that's kind of, now for the.
So when I saw it, and now I'm thinking, I was surprised how widely some of the streets.
They've
Because the
been sending
building,
us a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
just and it's good, I'm not stopping them.
Yeah.
because Now we know what's going on sometimes.
but it probably, it's less about the building itself and more about potentially uncovering something.
We send it to
that-
all the departments, right, which is great.
Yeah.
Where's the planning board, doesn't leak at that, but.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so for us, it would be, what are we concerned about? And, some of the other departments have already answered, but waiting till we get, meeting here to see if someone thought about something.
Yeah, I was wondering about the wetlands. I mean, I know that's not our
Right,
issue, but I knew that was gonna be an issue, but
yeah, we got some trade out going.
yeah, it looks like they've got a whole bunch of language.
A while ago, I sent out the Public Archaeological Lab, review of Forge Pond project. You guys, it's a complete book on there.
Mhm.
Do you guys have any comments about that, what they're doing, like that?
But we did talk about it briefly at the last meeting, raised it.
Okay.
And at that time, it was my understanding, and I had read through it. It was just that, area between, yeah, Lake Street and Old Lake Street.
Yeah.
Is that, yeah,
Yeah.
but that area, has some, I think it was more sort of 19th century. Historical stuff.
No site,
Yeah, and then they recommended to have, someone sort of in the working in that area. Didn't sound like there was any other.
No, most of it's gonna be done in the mud,
Yeah.
which there could be stuff in there, but. If you like on, Oak Island, or a metal detector guy, Wisconsin,
Yeah,
checks it out, but. Probably a lot
You know,
of,
those shows kill me because they have to find something to showing, right?
Yeah.
So you sort of watch it knowing they're not gonna find it.
yeah. That's the strangest stuff up there, though. All the stuff that's back there from the, you know. It's what's it, the 15th centuries and stuff they're finding and roads built underneath. Who the heck did that,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Anyways, okay, so no comment on that. The book project, we don't have anybody here to represent the book. And, 300 committees, done good. The old Bearing Ground update, I can do that. I've talked to, 3 or 4 companies now, and, pretty much have, I'll have some, quotes from 3 or 4 companies on, for trees. And just for the removal of trees, okay? I sent them out packets of, the plans, for septic plans for the properties around the, cemetery, because we're going to have to set up drains from the edge. The only one I don't have is, I was thinking later, the Evergreen Cemetery, the chapel there may have a bathroom. Tom says it does have a bathroom, and they gotta find out where Lynching Field is. If it's under the parking lot, it could be the issue, but, not a big one, but that's the least problematic side for them, but most of the trees are small. So one of them, this one company is really anxious to get this job, and they gave us a little quote before, and they're willing to help. You know, if there's a price issue, we need to deal with that, so. It's time to the administrator, and generally it's the lowest quote you get. If they're all below 50,000, if they're below 50,000, you can get quotes. And I was concerned, like, if one comes in under 50,000 and the others are all above it, or we have to go out to bid them. And he says, no, you can take the one that's below 50,000. So I'm trying to get them off, hey, we want people over 50,000 if you want to, there you go. So we will probably have them within a week as far as the
Oh, that's great. Is there anything
folks go.
talked with the Elgin Cemetery people since they were being some through?
We did before, we talked
Yeah.
about before, and the company that they use. is
Oh,
not
they
very
already did
effective. I think they're done.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I believe they're done. Hey, John. I think they finished up their work, but they were a smaller outfit.
Yeah.
This one, we're gonna need big cranes.
Yeah.
Done in there. With that stuff. We have to get the cranes close enough, and that's where we're gonna have, be careful. So that's the story with the tree removal. I don't know, what you guys want to do if you want to, I'd like to get started as soon as possible. And I put in the scope of work to finish up by September 1st. So, the worst of the hurricane season was at least behind the trees in it. And we've got, so if they can't start to July 1 because the money, then we may, if we have to pick somebody, have a discussion, and we might have to meet tonight to go about, depending on how these folks come in. And, we can get the contract written up, signed by the town and all that. So we may need another meeting next week, or we may have to hold a July meeting early.
Yeah, the July meeting is, we fall on July 9, so. Or something like that.
So we'll do it July 4th.
Yeah, we'll all be around.
Well, I like that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
all right, we'll have the Smoky Joe.
Oh, there you go. Well, what else, anything else on that? No, I guess that's it. Okay. Any other business we got to talk about tonight?
On the old burying ground, I think let's see it. Thinking the agenda, you maybe had something about inspection. related to
Oh,
old
actually, I
burying
do
ground.
have that, I was gonna mention too, the, part of it is they want arborists to inspect the 10 trees that we have there. Some are to keep, some are to see if they want, they think they're dangerous and should get rid. So that's part of, being part of this contract included. We'll be locked around with them when they start, whoever gets the job, we'll have their arborists come in, or hire an arborist to come in and look at the trees. There's, I didn't have the map with me today, but there are like, where the bulbs are, if you go into Evergreen Cemetery parking lot, on the left there with the walls, there are 3 large spruce trees right there between basically the bulbs and the parking lot. And I didn't never really notice them, they weren't on our list before, but I don't know whether those should really go or not. So we're gonna have them look at those. There's a maple tree right there that are right in the same area that our planner who wrote the report for us, preservation plan, same thing. She said, oh, that's one good specimen, but really it's a rough shape, so we're gonna look at that. The linden tree, the big linden tree, although it is uprooting some things, it's quite a massive tree over there right behind town now, so we're gonna try to keep that. Maybe run it up to trim it up a little bit. And then there's the 2 large spruce right next to the wall in the cemetery, right on the town green, that are right there. If they fell over on the tombs, they would hurt the tombs. If they fell over on the church, they hurt the church. But they may be in good enough shape as the person says. I don't know if they're infected or not. And then there's a couple others in there.
I'm gonna say the firs tend to be pretty stable.
Yeah, well, the
Unless
kind
they're
of broke
rotted.
off up there, the ants
Yeah.
are, the beetles that are in them now, there's some cause problems.
Yes.
Is there any consideration of the aesthetics of trying to get back to more toward the original, what it was like, which didn't have a lot of it?
Well, we are,
Yeah.
that's none of these trees are really in the middle
Yeah.
of the cemetery.
Yeah,
Just a couple small trees, maybe we might leave in there just to kind of do a little bit of stuff.
Mhm.
But most of these are on the outskirts of the cemetery. Yeah. That was what the inspection was, thanks. All right, anything else we got tonight? No? No new ideas about the anniversary coming up?
I mean, I'm still interested in, what we would need to do to identify if those voids were unnamed graves. I don't know why that really bothers me. So I don't know what exactly, if that is a Bridgewater State College thing, that they would be able to do that, or whether it would require a professional. Not that they're not professionals, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
To come in and take a look at those and then see if there's something we can do without being intrusive. Being Massachusetts Cemetery Association, whoever it is that's in charge of historical cemeteries, has very specific rules about how you can check to see if there are graves and things like that, but if you can, do it without having to, puncture the ground or disturb anything or whatever, then you don't have to file any paperwork or anything, but if you aren't able to make those determinations and you want to do the coring to see if there's, wood under there or whatever, then you have to have permission and somebody who's a professional and, all that kind of stuff.
right.
So I did do sort of all of the research, but wasn't really sure what to do with it, I guess, from there, or how to see if Bridgewater was interested.
So the research showed what though? This what you were saying then?
Yeah, just exactly how we would
Yeah,
go about, I guess, identifying if they're just voids or if they're actually unmarked graves.
So are you thinking like you?
hey, old man, how you doing?
Radar?
Who's been that?
John.
John Webble, I don't know if you know, this is the historical commission here, we're very historic. That's the dean of Mass Maritime, John's a grad. Yeah,
Did you,
1884, I think it was.
did you go to see? or-
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's cheap on, Derby. I
Oh.
don't know what before that,
Well,
but
yeah, it's export, yeah. I have a question, does anybody, do you have by any chance have one of those blank pay schedule things? That
oh,
reimburse?
no, I just, oh, well, maybe I do. Let me think of, I printed one out, because I might have a blank for him. Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Looks like it. And it's a full crop of food, so I don't really. Yeah. No, you be prepared. Wait, what the committee is it from? Agricultural. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Bye. So sorry, are you thinking about the ground penetrating radar or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know that's what they use when they
Yeah.
first, I'm not sure if you were here, so
No.
just to give you a little background, Bridgewater came in and did
Yeah,
like
I saw that the kids.
the radar, yeah.
presentation.
So on one side, there were some like anomalies in the ground
Yeah,
that appeared to indicate that something was down, but there's no headstone markings, anything that we could find, so. During the presentation, it was like,
It's not definite.
exactly,
Yeah.
it could be just voids or rocks or something, or it could be. Grave sites where the markers have over time been moved or destroyed or something, and so. I just kind of thought it was sad that there was the potential that there were people there and nobody knows it. So I sort of started looking into how you go about respectfully without, disturbing graves, that like how you find out if it actually is one, or if it's, nothing more than they dug something up and put the backfill in, and so now it's showing up.
yeah, yeah, it would be good to know.
I think there's
And that's
more
what- when you're
professional.
already on
Yeah. More professional
exactly.
used to do that, surface observations. And there was a guy. I think he's been a professor, that, they were doing some work down Plymouth.
Okay.
We should, if we can get in on that, you know,
Yeah,
um,
cause I know like you know, I know Bridgewater has certain things, but I didn't know if. I don't know anything about ground penetrating radar, so I didn't know if they have. The right machines, if somebody has something that's, you know, more strong, I guess, or stronger.
like they have an old kind.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, why don't we see if we can find
All right,
that, because that's the only really way to go.
Yeah.
And it would be good too, if we knew, so they can set up frames in different places, you know? It's,
yeah,
although, after 200 years. What's down, you know, what put me down there? We should have run the thing over some, where we knew of the grades and seen if anything showed up that they were definitively,
mhm.
so get a standard.
The BU person working in Plymouth, are they working at the cemetery in Plymouth? or-
I think they were working up on what's the old building down there.
Oh, wholesale.
Old Hill, I think they were.
Okay.
So, but there was a guy that, because I know for years, Jack Berry wanted to have that, actually, his uncle's daughter bought that farm right behind Maple Street Fire Station, you know that, where the original, graduate house was.
Oh,
Where the Stones market it, and Jack Berry wanted to have that ground penetrated radar, but they wouldn't let him do it, so they didn't want him on the property, so we had the opportunity to.
I bet not, if you find something that makes your life a little.
But they were able to do a little part of, the area, was simply to find foundations for the house really went. So that was an opportunity then, but so there are people out there with these.
Yeah.
Just from research to kind of find out. They think where it's.
Yeah, they have the ones too that you can like, use drones that attach like LiDAR. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's sort of like instead of radar, it's lasers.
Yeah, but it's still surface, I think.
yeah, and I think we know where we want to look, so.
Yeah, I mean, we already
LiDAR
have the,
Yeah, it's LiDAR, I think it's pretty limited to the surface level.
yeah,
And it'd be good for identifying broadly, what we might want to target, but it does seem like the ground penetrating radar, something similar. Can be to one target.
then there's like so if you can't figure it out without disturbing, there's a process where you. You know, obviously hire professionals, but they will take like a thin core and then I guess somehow either soil analysis or like gas analysis or something, they can sort of determine if there are human remains or if there's wood or anything like that. And if it's just like a void in the ground or something like that, then it doesn't register on the thing, but if you're going to start doing that, then the mass historical cemeteries, you have to file with them and get permission and, you know, which is good reason. You don't want people out there digging up graves.
Yeah.
So, but it's something that it's been sitting on my brain since we found out about it. And so I've been doing the research, but I wasn't really sure what the next step was.
Yeah.
So is the next step just to like put together a concept of a plan and
I
then
would say
present it?
let's find someone who's got the equipment. That
Yeah.
can do something first.
Yeah.
First, and then
Okay.
we know the areas where we wanna go.
Yeah,
Probably, and you can use the professor's results as kind of a starting.
absolutely, yeah,
So, yeah, let's see if we can come up with some names and places for
okay,
down there. There was a thing in the book about this project, archaeological project going on in Boston, Charlestown. I think we see that. And they're interested in the common people, the people that live there, because, you know, all history is about the fighters that were on the hill. but the town got burnt down right after the battle.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody had to evacuate and they didn't really take much with them, so they're doing these digs in all these places that, you know, they're looking for common people stuff. In fact, one of them, there was a black woman that owned a house in Charlestown, and they were trying to figure out how she came to own the house, basically, you know? But so it's kind of interesting stuff going on.
Was it burned purposely by the British or just,
They didn't say, but I would imagine it was, you know, when they were leaving.
yeah,
Hmm.
that's it.
All right, any other business tonight? No? Okay, sure, Tom's not here. Tom, this is for you. Where, I'm gonna not watch the thing. Then we'll need a motion to, we're up to the next date, which would be,
July 9th
right now, but
right now, but we might want to move that earlier.
yeah. Yeah. It's like, could be the end of the month. All right,
Okay, motion to adjourn until the next meeting, July 9th at the moment.
yeah, all fair.
Aye.
Okay.